Hi everybody. This is not the video I intended to make for this week, and I probably will make another, but I didn't want it to wait any longer as I was already late in getting this out to you. I am going to talk a little bit more about that separation of church and state myth. The separation phrase was a very common used colloquialism of that day. Jefferson was using this phrase to encourage the Danbury Baptist Association to understand that the government would protect them rather than interfere with their religious beliefs. In reference to this phrase, James Adams said, Jefferson's reference to a wall of separation between church and state was not formulating a secular principle to banish religion from the public arena. Rather, he was trying to keep the government from darkening the doors of the church. In 1853, Congress was petitioned by a group that wanted to separate the church and the state. They investigated for a year to see if that was possible to separate the two entities. On March 27, 1854, the House Judiciary Committee gave their report. Had the people during the Revolution had a suspicion of any attempt to war against Christianity, that revolution would have been strangled in its cradle. At the time of the adoption of the Constitution and the amendments, the universal sentiment was that Christianity should be encouraged, but not only one sect. Any attempt to level and discard all religion should have been and would have been viewed with universal indignation. In this age, there is no substitute for Christianity. That was the religion of the founders of our republic, and they expected it to remain the religion of their descendants. The great, vital, conservative element in our government is the belief that our people in the pure doctrine and the divine truth, belief of our people in the pure doctrine and divine truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ. They took it to the Supreme Court, who said, Jefferson's letter may be accepted almost as an authoritative declaration of the scope and effect of the amendment thus secured. Congress was deprived of all legislative power over religious opinions, but was left free to reach actions which were in violation of social duties or subversive good order. The rightful purpose of civil government are for its officers to interfere when principles break out into overt acts against peace and good order. In this, it's found the true distinction between what properly belongs to the church and what to the state. It also said that while government was not free to interfere with opinions on religion, which is what frequently distinguished denominations from one another, it was still responsible to enforce civil laws according to Christian standards. Therefore, on that basis, the court ruled that the Mormon practice of polygamy and bigamy was a violation of the Constitution because it was a violation of basic Christian principles. The court said Jefferson's wall existed to protect the church from the government, but also said Christian principles are not to be separated from government. So we know that that's exactly what happened to this country. Christians let their guard down, stopped taking their seats in government, and, well, here we are. So it's time for Christians to get back into government and start taking our rightful seats again. I believe the next video I'm going to talk a little bit about what happened to this country and how we lost prayer in schools. The arguments they made against prayer in school were extremely weak, and we let them get away with it for some reason. I'm not really sure what we did or how we did it. I'm going to go over that in a little more detail, though, and explain where we dropped the ball. In the meantime, y'all have a great night, and I'll be back with you soon.